Hi. Welcome to Black Manor. I'm here with my friend Tara. Tara or Tara?
Tara.
Tara. See, I'm so bad at pronunciations. And you are the writer. And what else?
I'm the writer, director, and producer of My Summer as a Goth.
I'm so excited that it is just about done, right?
It really is. Whoa. It's amazing.
Yes. You know, I didn't think of any questions, but so we're just gonna wing it.
That's fine.
I got to preview it because I'm special, and I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
It's adorable. It's an adorable story.
Thank you. As many of you know, it's been a long time that we've been making this movie. I tell people in 2009 was the very first version of the script that was written. So what is it now? 2018.
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
That's what I love about you, though. You did not give up.
That's right.
And that's another lesson on top of the lessons that you learn in this story.
Mm-hmm.
That you never give up. It's funny that you started this 10 years ago, okay?
Right.
And back then, actually 10 years ago, the goth scene was kind of dead.
Mm-hmm. And
now there's this huge resurgence of it. And now is the time, it's like sliding right in the right spot right now.
Yeah.
So it's funny how things fall into place right when they need to be.
I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's part of getting older. I mean, I've gotten older with this project, and
mm-hmm.
and I'm very patient now.
Yes, patience.
With this project. I mean, I'm eager to get it to you all and to show you and to enjoy seeing your excitement about it. But I also want to make sure it's done in the right way. And because it's taken so long, I do have this patience mm-hmm. with the story and then with the journey it's going to go on. So I feel like it will give us the right decisions surrounding the distribution mm-hmm. of the film. Mm-hmm. And then that falls along with what you were saying. It's sort of like this is the right time now mm-hmm. that the goth scene is really seeing this resurgence, that it's hitting a younger audience, yes. but also honoring the older and elder goth audience. And I think it's going to land in a really good place.
Yeah, so do I.
It was important for me to not only complete this project for myself, but for everyone involved, the actors involved, mm-hmm. the people that have supported us early on, like mm-hmm. you and Matthew and Jillian. And the thing about me is that I really wanted to come full circle with the project, made sure that we completed it in an authentic and meaningful way, and to be able to get it out to people that have supported us since our very first Kickstarter when we went public, mm-hmm. which was like 2011. So that's when we met.
Right.
You and I met.
I used to do my live show mm-hmm. almost 10 years ago, that you started the My Summer as a Goth Kickstarter.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, this is totes adorbs. And I was so excited, and I was just like, oh my God, I have to tell everybody, let's get this thing going. And then...
And we were watching that night. You were live streaming, and all of a sudden, our video came onto their show, and it was
that's right. You showed the video,
and I don't know if there was a live chat happening. If I said anything like "It's us, hi," maybe. But it was that for us. It was just so amazing that it was just happening all of a sudden, and then
you're oh crap! Now I really got to do this.
Now I got to do this. Over the years, in working with all of our consultants, mm-hmm. we've been able to put together a really great film that not only honors the story that we wanted to tell and the journey of Joey, who's our main character, but I'm super proud of where it landed, mm-hmm. and that and feel like all of that support over the last 10 years is infused into this movie. So whether it's an actor on screen or a crew member or someone who supported us, someone who wears our I Heart Goth badges, like it just, that all of you are in this movie. Summer as a Goth has taken 10 years to get to this point, and we're so excited that we can finally get this movie out to you. We just need one more financial push to get us to the finish line. So please consider donating to our campaign and sharing our campaign with others that would love to see our movie. Thank you so much for your support.
Aren't you going to say trick or treat?
With the Kickstarter, you started the Kickstarter in 2011?
Yeah.
And then that was fulfilled.
That was fulfilled. We raised, I think it was like $23,000, and specifically for development of the project, so we could finish out the script. At that point, we were not considering directing it ourselves, and so we were looking for a director. We were casting. We had come to LA many times to kind of talk with some other producers about furthering this project. And meanwhile, continuing to build our network of people. And at one point, we went down a couple roads with some different directors, and ultimately that didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And Brandon and I, we co-wrote the script together, and we're also best friends from high school. We've known each other for over 30 years. A lot of this story pulls from our real life experience of coming of age in the 1980s in Salem, Oregon, or Snalem, Snoregan. Our sort of like coming of age adventures, and hanging out in coffee shops, smoking a lot of cigarettes, wearing a lot of black, listening to music, and we wanted to honor that time in our lives. And also when we were coming of age, like John Hughes stories and that kind of filmmaking was happening, we wanted to have a story where it kind of honored that style of filmmaking. So we wanted to cast real teenagers and to focus on kind of like in Portland, really honoring the film community. So we pulled from a lot of local actors, local musicians, local crew base, and that was important for us because it was our first time going through this process. And my first time as a director, I come more from the producing world, and finding that authentic kind of collaborative group effort to make this happen. So that initial burst of funding really helped us get to the first year of filming. So we filmed this over 2 summers, so that was tricky. We filmed a week, and then ultimately it was like, okay, wait a minute, we're not going to be able to complete this with the amount of money that we have. So we put a little brakes on it. And, at that point, a lot of people thought, oh, it's never going to happen, including myself. It was really hard to stop. But as a producer director, I did not want to come to the point of not being able to pay people, pay my actors, pay my crew. It's important for me to honor that commitment. So I didn't want to go any further and put us in a not so good situation in terms of that. So that next year, so that was in 2016, summer of 2016. And then through the next year, I just really took the time of doing, we did another Kickstarter, and we were able to raise another chunk of money, which we just sat on. And then I was able to raise some more money and to really get us prepared to move into the next phase of production, which we did 2 weeks in 2017. And we were super prepared. Well, nobody's ultimately completely prepared for production.
Anything.
Yeah, so it was crazy, and all the stories you hear about independent filmmaking, we probably lived through. But the entire cast came back. We had continuity to contend with, which was interesting.
Well, having seen it,
Yeah,
I was telling you, you guys did a pretty good job because I couldn't even tell if the kids got older or not.
right.
No, it was.
Yeah.
It's smooth.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's pretty smooth.
The plot
Is 16-year-old Joey Javits. Her father has recently died, and her mother is a novelist and is set to go on a book tour for the summer. So Joey needs a place to go, and so she's shipped off to stay with her grandparents are kind of eccentric, ex-hippie types. And so she's shipped off to stay with them.
Who are totally cute.
They're totally cute.
They're totally cute.
They're super cute.
Because I have relatives like that.
And so she's sort of gearing up to have not a much, so fun summer. But she goes to stay with her eccentric grandparents
With
for the summer.
G-Rents.
The G-Rents.
Yeah.
And she gets swept up by the goth boy who lives next door.
Mm-hmm.
Thrown into his world.
And his name is?
His name is Victor. And I always say it's like My Fair Lady. There's a transformation, kind of metamorphosis. He makes her over.
My scary lady.
Yeah, he he sweeps her up into his world and with his friends, and she goes for it. It's a way for Joey to break out of this kind of sadness that she's been experiencing really over the last year with her father's death, and to not have to dwell and to think about that as much.
And the transformation scene is my favorite part.
Oh, good! It's pretty fun.
For a couple reasons.
Yes.
It's a good coming of age film. So, like I was telling her, like my stepdaughter really liked it. She saw it, she got to preview it, and she liked it. And because it's potentially something that could happen in her life or friends' lives. But for me, it was also nostalgic because that kind of stuff happened to me too, So it's like all ages can appreciate it.
Right. I think that there is something
and
there
not just goths
forever.
either.
Absolutely.
Because Zoe's not a goth, and she got the message.
Yeah.
But the goth part is just totally fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yes. Of course. We like to see the hearse. We have Zoe off camera, my stepdaughter, who's 12 and loved the film. She doesn't want to be sitting here for some reason.
She's directing.
She's right here. She's directing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Zoe.
One of my favorite parts was Joey's friend. She was like a real girl next door looking person. At the end, she started turning more goth and started, getting into that culture as well.
Yeah.
I just really like how she was always with Joey and always by her side.
No matter all the changes she went through.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. That's a good friendship right there.
Yeah. That's one thing about Joey's journey is that, we kind of see her in two different worlds, two different friend worlds and her family world too. And like many of us, we've experienced very polarizing experiences where you have your true authentic friendships that will ride out whatever you're going through, good, bad, the ugly. And then you have the friendships that maybe aren't going to be with you in your entire life. But, so Joey has a set of friends of kind of some mean girls that she's grown up with that are very judgy at the end of the film. And even before.
And let me tell you, I love that. I love that at the end.
Yeah.
I love this character, Joey, so much.
Yeah.
I identify with her attitude about where she takes it. I was telling you because, for one thing, when I was 12, I lost my grandma who I adored, and I wanted to move in with her and everything like that. And even though since I was young, 6 years old, I fell in love with Dracula, Bela Lugosi, right?
Sure.
So that's how it goes usually when we're goth or in the darker scene. Is we just like darker things in life. But my grandma's death catapulted it for some reason. Because then that's when I really started to look at darker things too. And it wasn't until I watched the movie that it reminded me. The fact that she ends up standing her ground.
Right.
Because I've had to do that a lot being an artist, a female artist, and you too. Being, isn't it weird that we're finally oh yeah, we can do the same thing as a man can do.
Absolutely.
And should have the same respect. It's finally happening. Even though we thought it was happening, but it's happening more. You know what I mean?
Right, later in life. And
we thought it was happening even in the 90s and 2000s, but now it's... Anyway. So, but anyway, it was really great to see a young woman come to that conclusion and to take that power.
Over the last year especially, we've seen the Me Too movement explode, and women's representation on screen and behind the scenes in the film industry, and for women supporting other women. And how I work, it was important for me, not only as a woman director, to make sure that we were being inclusive and representational of all women, and also on screen being authentic in terms of our casting, making sure that we had a diverse cast in terms of age, in terms of race, in terms of gender identity, and
which I really loved.
It's so important because we have arrived, people, and it is important to walk that walk. And especially with running a women's film festival, we've done a lot of work in terms of what we're showing at the film festival, not only about what we're seeing on screen, but also who are making these movies. And so when we were building our crew base, it was important to me to have a lot of representation of women behind the scenes and non-binary people, and also people of color. So it was highly important for me to do the work to make sure that we had a really great
just like
inclusive
normal
environment.
Life, right?
Yeah. When you work with me, those are things that, you know, I'm striving towards. As a woman director, I want to see more people who look like me. And especially if I'm telling a story of someone that doesn't look like me, that we have those voices included in the conversation. And so that was hugely important. And also the end that you were referring to add this kind of moment where Joey really authentically finds her voice in terms of standing her ground, and to state that, you know, wait, this isn't going to work for me, and not to be rolled over by, you know, this guy that's kind of sweeping her up in this world and, you know, trying to guide her and tell her who she is. And she, you know, through support of other friends, but mainly through her own journey, was able to say, wait a minute, this isn't for me, and I'm going to. And Queenie makes a cameo.
I makes a cameo. I makes a cameo. Well, I'm gonna cut that.
Can I tell them what happened? How that came to be? The makeover scene. So I was just sitting at my desk working one day, and I was watching Queenie live stream. You were on your way to Disneyland, I think.
Oh, you mean like on Facebook?
Yeah. I can't remember. Anyway, we were doing Mad Libs.
Live.
Yeah. We were Mad Libbing. Yeah. So, and then people are asking Queenie about her makeup and how she does her makeup, and wouldn't it be neat if you did a makeup YouTube? Like that. And you were saying, I've been thinking about relaunching my YouTube, and you know, a lot of people have asked me to do makeup tour, and I was like, Queenie, if you do this, I would really love to have you in our movie. And so, can we talk about it? And we ended up talking, I don't know, a few days later, and you were like, I think I'll try this.
It's this woman's fault for my YouTube starting again.
I'm just so glad that you did it. I mean, it's been amazing.
Thank you so much for giving me that push.
I'm happy to.
Because I was like, I could be in a movie. All right, I'll try it. And then I didn't realize the impact it would have. I was like, whoa, okay, well, this is pretty awesome. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Well, and I think it's important to have different voices represented in the YouTube sphere. It's primarily a younger platform. And so it was around your 50th birthday that you relaunched it, right? And I think that's so important. And as an elder goth, and people look to you for advice and makeup tips, and they love this lovely home that she has. It's amazing. So
it's all right.
So here's some of the YouTubers that are in the film. I had to wear my glasses because it's super tiny. I'm looking at it on my phone. Huh? I cut the film on my phone, which a lot of people will probably end up watching it this side. Yeah. Some cameos that appear: Snowy Lowther, Toxic Tears, the Goblin Queen, Dolly Momorio, Kylie Burbank, It's Black Friday, Queenie Black, Drac Makens, and Julia Zelg. So we have a lot of YouTubers that are based in the US, but also in a lot of different parts of the world, which I was really excited about. Was to
that was fun
to reach out.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad that they agreed to be in it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of enthusiasm, and that's one thing that when we added, this was something that we wanted to add later, and we went out to all the YouTubers and asked if we could utilize and place them in the film, and there was a lot of excitement around them, and because most of them knew of us already and had been following us for a while, so that was really cool that they wanted to be a part of it. But that also happened with our musicians, and that was cool because we had an inspiration soundtrack really nestled in like authentic goth music of the 80s, your Bauhaus and Joy Division and a lot of things that influenced modern musicians. And that was another thing that we wanted to do, was because our story set now, modern day, is to work with dark wave and goth bands that are current,
Which I have to say, that's one of the things I loved about the movie, the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Even though they're not they're not Bauhaus and The Cure and stuff, they have that sound.
Yeah.
But it just brought me back to the sound from the 80s. And I like it a lot, and I want to buy the soundtrack. So where's the soundtrack?
Well, that'll eventually be available. And where we started that is this local Portland band called Darkswoon agreed to appear in our movie. So there's a club scene and there's a live band. And so Jana, who's the lead singer of that band, they came and they performed during this club scene that you'll eventually see when you see the movie. And that was done in our first year of filming. And she and I kept up because she was expressing some interest of being more involved with Darkswoon. But as we met over that next year, as we geared up for our second wave of filmmaking, she wanted to be more involved and do soundtrack. We have your art. One of her brooches, a beautiful brooch, is on one of the characters.
My vampire girl brooch.
Yes. Cambriel has some of her designs are infiltrated or in the movie. So excited about that. And
she's fashion designer.
Yeah, fashion designer. And
Jilly's
in it. Her book, which is one of the first things that we purchased. Brandon and I were working on the script. We were in Los Angeles. He was living in LA at the time. And we emailed her and said, hey, so we're doing this thing and we'd really love for you to be involved. And she just was so ecstatic and came on.
She was in it too.
Yeah, she was in it.
Yeah.
She has a cameo.
Yeah, she did.
And what?
Totally off character cameo, by the way.
Yeah, she's a little.
I was like, excuse me, Jilly? Really?
She falls in more of the judgy side of Joey's goth adventure.
A little elitist judgy.
Yeah. I think those eyes are thrown towards Victor, though. Don't you think?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
but
so.
She is. You'll see her. It's very exciting.
That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah,
that
she has a poignant line.
That was surprising. I was like, what did she just say? That was cute, though. It's fun to see her.
We're so excited to have her. It's been submitted to a lot of film festivals, and we should be able to make announcements soon about where those premieres are, and hopefully then it will have a nice, healthy festival run throughout the country, and we'll make sure everybody knows, in case that falls in your town, that we want you there and want to show you this movie and make sure that we have a great following. And then the goal would be to get some sort of distribution deal where either we get maybe a small theatrical, but definitely I'd like to come out to like art theaters and show the film and make sure that we're bringing it to the people that have supported. Limleys.
How do you put it? Limley.
Limley? I think it's Limley.
Limley.
Those are things that I can see happening. And then, of course, we want to do some sort of digital delivery, whether that's like a Netflix or Hulu, and those things will come.
I wish that was like right now, so everybody
I know.
can watch it because it's super cute.
I know. There's just a process behind it, and sometimes it's hard. And I try to answer all your questions about when is this going to happen. I really want to see it because I really would just prefer to just give you the link. But
if you have any questions that people have asked, answer them right now.
Well, a lot of it, I think we've talked about. A lot of it is like, why did it take you so long? Yeah. And those are hard questions to answer because there's a lot of different reasons, and some are financial, some are just life. But mainly, that's what it takes when you're doing this in an independent fashion. And we wanted to keep our budgets low, so we didn't have this huge financial mountain to climb at the end. But I've had other projects that I've produced on that, I also run a film festival in Portland. I have 2 children. Life happens when you're an artist and pulls you in different directions.
Boy.
But here we are. The goal is to get the film out there to everyone that's been really wanting to see it, has supported us over the years, and to just like have that experience of us all coming together for this project.
10 years, and it's finally here. And
it's finally here.
Let's give a round of applause. Zoe,
thank you for all of your support. It's just kept me lifted in completing this project. So I really appreciate y'all.
And you have lifted sound effects. I heard that.
Well, I know.
So follow her Instagram.
Oh, right.
We'll put it here.
My Summer is a Goth on Instagram and Facebook is where you'll find us.
My Summer is a Goth, Instagram and Facebook. And she shares pictures from production and of the characters and stuff like that. And I'm sure like when you have your festivals and stuff, you'll be...
Absolutely. We'll make sure to have all the information. So especially if you're in one of the towns that we are in, we want you to come. And, my team and I will be there to, help make that happen. And, but we'll be putting out all the information through there. We don't have like a newsletter per se. If you supported the Kickstarter project, we do updates there, but I do more updates through the Instagram and Facebook because it's just easier.
Instagram right now is the place to be.
Yeah. So
Facebook's everybody's just arguing over there.
I know. I love the photos and I love the stories. And if you're following us and we're following you, we watch that and we love it. And so, become one of our followers. And
so we get the privilege to get an exclusive scene. Exclusive here.
Scene.
On my YouTubes.
Of My Summer as a Goth. So check it out.
Joey, does your family still go to Sun River every summer?
Oh, my mom's on this book tour this year, so we probably won't make it.
So you're just gonna hang out with your pops then?
Shut up, Shelly.
No. I'm the girl whose dad died, remember?
OMG, what did you do to your hair?
I met a boy.
There's no going back now, right?
You look like the bride of Frankenstein.
Should we be worried?
They're teenagers. Yes.
Well, if it isn't a goth convention.
Victor didn't tell you about the party?
No, he didn't mention it.
I don't trust the look of him, Joey.
You're with me. I'm practically Goth royalty.
You didn't tell me you would be bringing company.
You can call me Joey.
What should I play?
Bela Lugosi's dead?
Never heard of it.
You're new to this whole goth thing, aren't you?
Why are you so sad, little goth chick? Did your DVD of The Craft get scratched?
Douchebag. What's with all the black? I wear black on the outside because black is how I feel on the inside.
Can't we just stay in this cemetery forever?
Wow. Maybe you are a real goth.
Well, thank you, Queenie.
And I'm hoping, I mean, once you get it to LA, we'll have a thing in a theater and I'll get all my peeps to come.
Yes, I would love that.
Come on, peeps.
This would be amazing.
Let's go watch and
give
her some support.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Yay! Bye.
Bye.
Summer as a Goth has taken 10 years to get to this point, and we're so excited that we can finally get this movie out to you. We just need one more financial push to get us to the finish line. So please consider donating to our campaign and sharing our campaign with others that would love to see our movie. Thank you so much for your support.
Aren't you gonna say trick or treat?